Welcome to Fiendius Crafting, episode 6, the chessboard. I'm Matt. In this episode, we're going to be taking some 2x6s, one a little bit darker, and one a little bit lighter. And we're going to be making a chessboard. Okay, let's glue these together. Alternate them. Okay, so I cut a straight edge on my table saw, and then I set up this guide so it's the same thickness as one of these strips, so that when I cut it this way, I should get squares that I can then flip around and make my board. Okay, so I'm going to lay out my pieces on here, and I'm going to clamp them together this way. Actually, which way did I do it last? This way, I think. I don't know. And then I'm going to clamp some boards down on top. I'm going to clean up these edges. And we let it dry. Okay, so we got the board all glued up. You can see it's not quite flat on the edges. Like I can feel it here, it's not flat. So what I'm going to do is I think this side is the most flat. So I'm going to use my belt sander to flatten it all the way. And then I can take it to the table saw, cut these straight, and then I can cut that straight, and we'll have a board that is somewhat square. Okay, so now that we got the sides square and flat, I've got these I don't know, I don't want to call them sticks, but it's this wider wood to cut little thin strips. So then we're just going to do like a nice border around it. Okay, I took these over to my chop saw, got them cut real quick. So now we can I don't remember if it was longer. 10 1/4. So this is a 10 1/4. So this goes here, that goes there. These go here. So I think I should cut a 45-degree on one of the ends. And one of the ends. And then I can put them together and butt them up. And then mark where the other 45 starts. I think that will just be easiest. Okay, we got all that other stuff cleaned up. Now I'm ready to glue it all together, right? You're going to glue it on here because this is flat. And my glue won't stick to it when it bleeds out or squishes out. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little lip here. There's also another lip over here, a little bit over here. So I figure if I try and sand it, I'm not going to be able to get it flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my router sled that's right here and make it flat. I'll probably have to come back and re-dye my squares, but that's kind of where we're at. So we're going to take this hot glue gun and we're going to glue the board into place. Okay, so I got the area cleaned up a little bit. We got it sanded down to 320 grit. So now I'm going to take this tape and try and tape off some of the squares. I'll probably have to do it in 2 runs because it'll be easier that way. So I'm going to start taping. Okay, now that it's all taped off, we are ready to stain. Again, I'm using this red mahogany. Okay, so I did the other squares off camera. So now we're gonna pull this off and see what we have. Doesn't look half bad. There's a little bit of bleeding. I'll probably just hit this with some light sandpaper. Try and get some of this bleed off. And then I think it'll give it a little bit of a rustic look if I do sand it a little bit. Alright, the chessboard has been sanded down to 320. So we're going to do a coat of polyurethane. We're going to start on the back side and let's do some finishing. Okay, we are all done. Lots of issues, lots and lots of issues. Issue number 1, if you can tell, the board that I used is not flat. Did not get the board planed so that when I glued the strips together, we had lots of gaps that I had to fill in. I don't know if you can see on the back side. There were lots of gaps because I didn't get it planed good enough. There were lots of screw holes that we ran into that I had to fill in with putty. The other issue was that not all of my darker wood was dark. So like there were some squares that were a little bit lighter. So you can kind of tell, but you can't really. I mean, it's not like a very definitive. So we had to tape it up, stain it, sand it, and it wasn't very smooth. So I made a little router sled and made it smooth, which took off a lot of the thickness. So I mean, it was rough. Not all the squares are even. I'm just nitpicking all the issues. I mean, you can play chess on it or checkers or whatever, but it just did not turn out to the highest quality that I wanted. Needless to say, I'm not going to sell it because I don't feel like it turned out as well as I would like it to have turned out, so I'm just going to give it away. So if you'd like it, let me know below. And I guess that is it, and we'll catch you in the next video.